Welcome to the Daily Debrief, an inside look at today's big story. I'm Amy Abdelsayed. As Vegas continues to loosen restrictions and businesses begin normal operations, we have seen more and more job fairs announced in the Valley. Employers just looking to fill new positions, maybe even some that were, lost during the pandemic. But those employers are saying that they are not getting in enough job applications from prospective hires. Joe, one of the top comments we see on social media around this issue has been unemployment benefits. People just questioning if benefits are too high compared to the jobs being offered. What do we know about pay and these jobs that need to be filled?
What I found in my reporting, it's really a gamut. There's different jobs, and we've seen a number of job fairs, as you mentioned, with hotels and casinos, looking for really every kind of worker that's available, from people who clean rooms to customer service to really a whole host of them. And then we've also seen in my story that I'm working on, high wage jobs. We're talking about systems engineers and project managers and other kind of jobs that you'd assume that were very high paying. They're still having trouble filling those positions. So it's really perplexing about how and why these companies are unable to fill not only what you would assume would be like an entry level job with wages that would probably be on par with those kinds of jobs, but also higher paying jobs are having a difficult time finding willing applicants.
And, you spoke to a woman who owns a business called Fit for Mom. It has been widely reported that the pandemic is setting back women's progress in the workforce specifically. Do we know if that could be another factor at play?
Yeah, so I spoke to Jessica Peralta, and she's the owner for Fit for Mom Las Vegas. She says that she had 27 employees before the pandemic. Now she's down to 9. So she's lost a third of her workforce from people, mostly women, who left for a variety of reasons, she says. Some people have moved back out of state to be near family members in this kind of trying time, to be around like more of a network of family support. Other people have left because they've had to, specifically women, they've had to take on a lot of responsibilities. Distance learning for children, for school-age children, is a big thing. Children have been learning from home for the better part of a year now, only recently going back. So it really fell a lot of times on women in the home and their moms to watch over the kids and take care of them while they were distance learning. And a lot of women had left the workforce because of that. And so now we're kind of seeing this maybe slow return because the economy is not completely back open. There's maybe the childcare may be an issue, distance learning, all sorts of different things are still in play that maybe prevent women from being able to go back into the workforce. So in the story, we mentioned that specifically women have had to bear the brunt of a lot of the responsibilities, and a lot of people, women specifically, have lost or left their jobs because of other responsibilities.
Are there any solutions being tossed around? Is this something elected officials are talking about?
Yeah, there's a couple of things that are really at play. A lot of people, and the people I spoke to tonight, they're pointing to a number of factors. One is that the COVID pandemic is still not over, and there may be still some fear out there of people that are still afraid of the virus or concerned. Maybe they're caring for somebody, or they have an elderly family member or something like that, and they're just still, it's too much of a risk to go back into the workforce. There's other things such as like remote working. A lot of people, including us, are working from home, and that's been nice for some people. And the appetite for in-work or in-person work just isn't there maybe as much anymore, or it's just not as appealing. And maybe people are holding out for those kinds of jobs. Remote working has been very popular. The other thing that they mentioned that I spoke to, and it's in our reporting that we're going to put on at 11 o'clock tonight, is the fact that there's these unemployment benefits, the $300 per week from the federal government, which is on top of whatever unemployment benefits are available through the state. So just as it is, $300 per week, 4 weeks, $1,200, that's just in the federal. Lump that on top of whatever the state is maybe chipping in, and you're talking about wages that may be on par with jobs that only pay $15 an hour or $10 an hour. And when you compare those two, a person may say, look, Like, I'd rather just stay on unemployment and collect those benefits versus going to work and maybe risking myself or having to pay for childcare or make other arrangements, travel to a job or something like that. So those are all things that are being talked about. These federal unemployment goes through the September of this year. So we still have a few more months until that kind of expires, and we'll see what happens after that. But there's been a lot of talk. A lot of elected officials on both sides of the aisle have been saying something needs to be done. There's these jobs, the economy is starting to get back into business, but now you're having these federal unemployment benefits kind of competing with maybe wages, and that's causing another issue in terms of people's willingness to go back into the workforce.
Joe, thank you so much for your time on this. For even more on today's big story, make sure to visit ktv.com where you'll find Joe's report and any continuing coverage that we do. We'll certainly be following this issue. Stay with us for more local coverage right now. You're watching KTMV streaming Las Vegas news on your time.